Hi, everybody. It is Saturday, January 4th now. I'll start off with a couple of things before I get into music. My thoughts today are to my mom, Trudy. She passed away 6 years ago today, and I miss her every day. She was a remarkable woman, and it's still hard to fathom that she's gone. But I'm just going to be, I always think about her. One of my rituals always was when I would land coming off of a tour or, recording somewhere, but flying into town. As soon as I would get my bags and get in the car to head home, I would call her, say, I'm home, I'm safe, landed, everything's good. And at this point now, every time I land, I still have the impulse to do that, and then realize that she's really no longer there to call, but she's in my heart and my thoughts. So I love you, Mom, and I miss you. And then I also just heard that Linda Ronstadt's brother Peter passed away. Peter was a musician, but he was also the chief of police of Tucson, Arizona, retired. And I think he just passed a couple of days ago. So my heart's with Linda and the family at Peter's passing. So it's tough. There's been a lot of this, and it comes with the territory, but it's never easy. Over the past couple of days, doing Herb Peterson and Stephen Stills, there's been a bunch of discussion about another member of that group of people, Rick Roberts, who I featured, God, way back, in like somewhere in like the 300s on the videos. But I thought, since there's been a bunch of people asking me about Rick and everything, I thought I would go ahead and visit some other songs that we did together and talk a little bit more about him. Because it's an interesting journey that he's been on. I'll read a couple of the little bios. Now, the problem, one of the hard parts too with this channel is, now that we're up, I don't know, what, around 1,800 videos or something, I get people writing to me all the time going, why don't you feature so-and-so? And I go, I did like 2 years ago. It's hard to, kind of scroll through all of this to find, other, videos that I've done. So sometimes it's easier just to come back and do another visit with somebody, just looking at different songs and different stories about it. And then we'll just take it from there. And then if somebody really wants to see more, they can go back, spend the time, and go back into the, the archives at this point. But I'm going to read you a little bit about Rick here, and then we will go on with this. I'll play some music. It says, Rick Roberts is a 40-year veteran of the rock and roll wars. He began his recording career in 1970 with the Flying Burrito Brothers and was a major contributor to their last two albums. He went on to do 2 solo albums and then formed the well-known band Firefall in 1974, with whom he played for 7 years during their heyday. He has also been a member of Stephen Stills' band and Linda Ronstadt's band during his career, and has been awarded 2 platinum and 4 gold albums for his efforts. He's had over 60 of his compositions recorded and performed by such artists as the Burritos, Firefall, Stephen Stills, Linda Ronstadt, Barry Manilow, the Dirt Band, and numerous others. He is the composer of the hit song Just Remember I Love You, You Are the Woman, Strange Way, Colorado, and several others that graced the top 40 at one time or another. After suffering a debilitating brain injury in 2006, which left him in jeopardy to never walk again, it took him nearly 4 years of intense physical therapy to walk again without crutches and other aids. He currently lives and works in Longmont, Colorado, with his wife Mary and their 2 dogs, Donovan and Maggie, and their 2 cats, Bean and Minky. That's one of the little bios here. And there's some more comprehensive stuff. Yeah, here's a little bit more. Richard Roberts, born August 31st, 1949, is an American country rock and soft rock singer-songwriter who recorded with many influential artists over several genres. He's best known as a founding member and lead singer of Firefall from 1974 to 1981, as well as his work with the Flying Burrito Brothers in their 71 self-titled album. He also recorded 2 solo albums, Windmills in 72 and She Is a Song in 73. Windmills is the album I worked on with him. In the fall of 81, Roberts played dates in tandem with fellow performer Burrito brother Chris Hillman. In 85, he was a member of the 20th anniversary tribute to the Byrds, a band co-founded by ex-Byrd Gene Clark and Michael Clark. The group also included former members of the band Richard Manuel and Rick Danko, as well as Blondie Chaplin and John York, who was Chris Hillman's replacement in the Byrds in 68. The band generated controversy, though, because it caused public confusion with what is the original Byrds and what was now being booked as the Byrds. In 87, he teamed up with ex-Eagle Randy Meisner in a short-lived Roberts Meisner band, and then rejoined his bandmates in Firefall from 89 to 92. But he was sidelined due to health issues for a number of years, but eventually returned to the road as a solo act. In 2010, he returned to music and released 3 4-song EPs on iTunes, and launched his website in the summer and fall of 2019. He toured together with fellow Firefaller Larry Burnett. That's another little one here. There's like little scattered things everywhere about people. It's hard to kind of grab it all. Oh, this one was a little bit more comprehensive about what he went through. This was a newspaper that had this article, and it said 7 years after a devastating brain injury, legendary songwriter Rick Roberts is back. All told, the entire incident was more embarrassing than scary. In 2006, Rick Roberts, songwriter and singer for the country rock blues sensation Firefall and the Flying Burrito Brothers, stumbled on a rug in his home, sending him headfirst into the kitchen island. In 2006, Rick Roberts, songwriter and singer for the island. I bled for a couple of minutes and then stopped, said Roberts. I didn't think anything of it, but weeks later, on Mother's Day, he noticed a blood blister forming on his head that began to bleed and wouldn't stop. For 3 hours, the tiny wound poured blood, soaking 3 bath towels and scaring Roberts' wife, who begged him to see a doctor. Roberts, though, thought the sudden bleeding was odd, but wasn't concerned. My wife was saying, Rick, you've got to go to the hospital. Although the bleeding eventually stopped, Roberts relented and went to the hospital. What doctors found upon examining him was a serious subdural hematoma. That's what they always had on Ben Casey's show on TV. Everybody had a subdural hematoma, commonly known as a brain bleed, and that had been slowly trickling inside his skull for months after the accident in the kitchen. Showing no signs of brain trauma, Roberts was dubious about the doctor's prognosis. The doctors say, well, Rick, here's what I'm going to tell you. You're going to lose your ability to walk. And he said, nah. Well, the doctor was right. Within a couple of months, Roberts started to lose his motor control. Within 18 months, he was confined to a wheelchair, unable to walk. It took me a while to accept that I wasn't going to get better, said Roberts. Roberts, who had never before ceased writing and performing music, was for the first time forced to give up his life's work and focus on recovering from the accident. Month after month, he did nothing but work on rehab, moving slowly from his wheelchair to his feet and eventually to walk again. After 3 years, he was almost completely back to normal, despite being less graceful than he once was. But now he had another hurdle to overcome, learning to be a musician. The accident hadn't affected his ability to play guitar or sing, but the years of musical inactivity had taken their toll. This musician, who had a handful of top 40 hits and had spent most of his life playing music, had to accept that he was no longer the songwriter he once was. I discovered that your voice is not like riding a bicycle, says Roberts. Years of intense physical therapy to relearn to walk, Roberts began the arduous process of learning to sing again. Things started to come back for him slowly, he says, but it was at a performance with his former band that he really got inspired to make restarting his music career a priority. Everyone, it seemed, had counted him out, and it affected him deeply. I was at a Firefall show, said Roberts. I'm usually invited up on stage to sing, but I wasn't this time. It really hurt my feelings. Then and there, Roberts said he decided to form Winter Rose, a band showcasing some of the area's greatest musicians, including guitar prodigy and 1995 LA Music Awards Guitarist of the Year nominee Michael Reese. The band makes its debut Friday at the, well, this goes on to a gig, but this is from a while back, so this part of it doesn't really mean anything. So I'm going to get back to the album here. So, I mean, it's really quite a journey that Rick's been on with all of this. Now, the album that I'm going to talk about was from 1972, and it's called Windmills. And it's got myself on bass, Don Henley on drums. This was the sessions I was working on. I remember when I was talking to Henley, and he said to me, he says, do you think Eagles is a stupid name for a band? And I said, I thought Beatles was a stupid name for a band. All I thought was insects. And actually the Beatles named themselves because they loved Buddy Holly and the Crickets, and they wanted to maintain that kind of a thing. So instead of Crickets, they became Beatles. But I said, no. And next thing you know, there's the Eagles. So it was myself on bass, Don Henley on drums, engineered by John Haney, Ken Nebergall, and Richie Moore. Kind of remixing David Anderle was involved in that, but David Anderle was primarily the producer on this. And David, I love David, and I'd worked with him on so many albums. Byron Berline on fiddle, Mike Utley on organ, and Mike, I had done like all of the Rita Coolidge and Chris Christopherson records, and Mike was always the keyboard player on those, and he went off to work with Jimmy Buffett for almost his entire career. Joe Lala on percussion again, and Joe was on the Stephen Stills project that I just did. Jane Getz, who was known as Mother Hen, was also playing piano on this. Al Perkins is playing steel guitar, pedal steel, and the vocals and acoustic guitar, Rick Roberts. And that's about it. And then there's guests on certain tracks here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this, and we'll just get started here with some stuff. But here's a song called Davy McVie. Let me see if we have any. Don Henley is singing harmony on this with him. So here we go. Come on. Hold on. We got something screwy going on here. This is why you know this is just me.
I paused to look up, and I wasn't alone. I found I was walking with
something very strange going on here.
Friends I had loved, but had lost on my way. Friends who had stayed, places I could not stay, couldn't stay.
Hold on.
And in a dream I was back on the street once again. I was.
This is really, really strange. There was like a little window open that I hadn't put in. So we are here back with Davy McVie. Welcome to 2025 and Mr. Technology. Here we go.
Davy McVie was an older man. He lived in nearly every town in the land when he hit his strike in old New Mexico. He was 46 and down on his luck. He'd been mining for years when he finally struck. Burned in the sun and frozen in the snow. Well, Davy, don't you work so hard for the prize you found. It'll all be gone when you turn around. Nothing lasts forever anyway. so young, the time rolls by, it'll all be gone when you blink your eyes. So take it easy, David, what you say. Act a little crazy and find someone he thought might share his bed. Well, he found a girl who said she'd go along, and he rolled in her arms, was the whole night long. Well, he woke up in the morning nearly dead. Baby, don't you work so hard for the prize you found, it'll all be gone when you turn around. Nothing lasts forever anyway. And you're not so young, the time rolls by, it'll all be gone when you blink your eyes. So take it easy, David, what you say.
Al Perkins.
Headed for a fall. You're the same man that you were before your ship came in. Money don't make you wiser, money don't make you tall. Just cause you got old ships don't mean you're gonna win. Baby, don't you work so hard for the prize you found, you'll all be gone when you turn around. Nothing lasts forever anyway. You're not so young, the time flies by, it'll all be gone when you blink your eyes. So take it easy, David, what you say. Don't you know that nothing lasts forever anyway? Come on and won't you take it easy, David, what you say.
Now, this is before Frankenstein, so this is my old Peace Love bass, my old 62 jazz bass that I carved up. If I'd have only known what that was going to do. Bass sounded great, but boy, it became totally neck heavy because I carved so much of the body away, and I ended up with a 2-pound chunk of lead in the end of the strap as counterballast for that bass. But it's the bass that I used on Dr. My Eyes and James's early stuff and Stratus and all that, because Frankenstein didn't really come into my daily use until I think 74. I think we built it in 73, started building it. So let's see what we got next. I think this is called Sail Away. Let me see what we got here. Yeah, here we go, Sail Away. This gets all jumbled up sometimes, and I'm just sitting there going, I'm losing my mind, but Sail Away. Rick Roberts, Windmills album, 1972.
sorrow of the word goodbye. So she in turn spares him her crying. Man of the ocean, man of the sea, she
different style of drumming for Don Henley there. It's really cool. Let's see, we got one more here. This one is called Two Lovely Women. Let me see who we've got on here. The electric guitar on this is Rick Roberts, and the guitar on this is Mark Benno. So here we go, Two Lovely Women. Come on, downbeat. It's really weird. I can picture us in studio, I think it was in Studio One at Sunset Sound where we cut this. And I'm kind of closing my eyes listening, and I can still see where Henley was sitting, everything about it. And then I'm realizing it was like 53 years ago we were doing this. The brain is an interesting little piece of sausage in our heads, isn't it? So that's Rick Roberts. Windmills is the album, and from 1972. Also, I want to say let's do a clubhouse this coming Wednesday. Let's kick off the year with a clubhouse and just find out how everybody's doing and everything. So I look forward to that. And Aaron will send out a notice to everybody, but it'll be this coming Wednesday again at 3 o'clock, I believe. So we started doing. I think it was 3 o'clock, or is it 2 o'clock now? 2 o'clock, I think. So yeah, I'm just trying to remember this. 2 o'clock West Coast time. So he'll send out the notification on that. And then I'm going to look towards maybe a week from today doing the FaceTime and Skypes, the one-on-ones. So we'll figure that out and then send out a notice and a calendar so that people can go ahead and sign up on that. It'd be nice to catch up with everybody there. So other than that, I'm just going to say my heart today is with my sister and her family, her kids, her grandkids, and my mom's great grandkids, and just thinking about my mom today. Trudy was quite a woman, and she'll forever in my heart and soul. So take good care, and I will be back tomorrow. Okay, bye-bye.